kind of looking at the rest of our top 10, apart from Novak Djokovic is, I think, a little more unpredictable with his schedule, and obviously he's going to be more selective with what he plays. But you look in kind of the 6 to 10 range, and you're wondering who's going to step up out of these guys, or is it going to be new faces? I mean, Alex de Minaur made the semifinals, which was, I think, a big stepping stone for him to play that well at the end of your championship. You have Ben Shelton, who's number 9 there, and it feels like he still has room to grow. You know, Jack Draper missed kind of the whole last half of the season with injury. Lorenzo Mussetti's in there. Which of these names do you think, I guess, has furthest to go up in terms of improving their skill set?
I would go with 2 of those names. So
Okay.
I think it's Ben Shelton and Jack Draper. No
Yeah.
offense to anybody. I think everyone else did great.
Yep.
But those have the biggest upside of those names, in my opinion, just because of the weapons that they bring to the table. I think Ben, with his lefty serve, with his forehand, and he has so much that he can improve upon. I mean, improve upon all his volleys, his net game. He can improve upon his backhand. He can improve upon his returns. He had the biggest gap between the percentage of first serves he got back in play between the forehand and the backhand. I believe the forehand, he only got 69% in play of the guys in the final 8, and then the backhand was 80%. And everybody, by the way, had fewer forehands returned in play than backhands. But part of that is because you take a little bit more risk off of the forehand side.
Yep.
But still, that's a low number. So I want to see, more in play. And I want to see, because he likes attacking the net. So I want to see some improved volleys as well. But he has such an upside. I think he can get to 1 in the world. I think he can win majors. So he has what it takes. He's young. And willing to put in the work as well. Jack Draper unfortunately had the injuries, but massive weapons as well. The leftiness, his forehand. He doesn't have a lot of weaknesses. So other than his body, honestly, he's got to stay healthy. We have not seen Jack Draper be able to stay healthy. When he is, we saw what he was able to do at Indian Wells. So those 2 have huge upside, and then somebody outside of those names to me would be Joao Fonseca, who's already at 24 in the world, 19 years old, another guy that has weapons. That forehand is already, supersonic, top 5 in the world, in my opinion. So can do everything, is so disciplined, so mature. Speaking to him, I just get a sense that he knows who he is. He is, focused on achieving all his goals, which is get to number 1 and win majors. So he may be that Novak, that kind of came in and shuffled up the Roger and Rafa party. Right now it's, Sinner and Alcaraz, or Roger and Rafa. Who's going to come in? They had won 8 slams in a row, I think 2006, 2007. And then Novak in 2008 won the Australian Open.
That's right.
So no one has ever won all 4 slams 3 years running. Could Alcaraz and Sinner do it? Absolutely. But if not, I don't know if Fonseca wins this year. I think that's a tough ask.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe it's Shelton. I really don't think. Maybe it's Novak, honestly. It could be Novak. I'd put him above Zverev. I'd put him above. Fritz can do it. But to beat both of them back, something else needs to happen. One of them either needs to be injured, or one of them needs to be upset by somebody else.
Yeah.
I don't see anybody beating them back-to-back semis and finals.
Yeah, I think it's kind of the similar story when we had the reign of the big 3 or big 4, when it was, Marin Cilic sneaking out a title at the US Open, for example. He had his big win over Roger, but then, I think it was Katie Shikori who took out Novak or something like that, or maybe Rafa was injured, or there's something else happening within the draw to create that opportunity. I'll give you one more name outside of Joao Fonseca, who I thought he looked fantastic in the first half of the season. I was excited for him, and then injury got in the way. Arthur Fils, who's now sitting back at number 40 in the world, he seems to have so much upside in his game, so much power off the ground. I know he's impressed Alcaraz with his tennis. Yep. Maybe he's a guy who could get himself back in the conversation if health allows it.
Yeah, Ben, that's a great call. Love Arthur Fils' game, and you're right. He has weapons. He's one of the most athletic players on tour. Love his game and has what it takes if he's healthy to challenge those guys. So I would put him in the mix, and then I would also add, and he may not play a single point this coming year, but I still believe that Holger Rune has what it takes to challenge them. Has the physicality, has the weapons, the serve, the forehand, can really do everything, and it's still so young. Unfortunately, had the Achilles injury, but we've seen how motivated, just through his social media, he is to get back. Whether he plays at all next year, I'm not sure, but he's still, just like 22 years old. So, huge career in front of him. The tough thing for me is that you mentioned Cilic. When Stan Wawrinka was at his absolute best, when Andy Murray was at his absolute best, you could conceivably say they would beat the big three, right? So when Stan won his 3 majors, he was just better than they were, best to best. I don't see anyone else best to best that is better than them right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, and even themselves, I still think Alcaraz's best is better than Sinner's best. And Sinner's best is better than everyone else's best. Wawrinka's best was better than Federer or Novak or Rafa's best at times. And I would say the same for Murray. I don't see that.
Yeah, and we don't currently have like a Del Potro on the tour either. Someone who can go absolutely nuclear on the court for 3 hours and is completely untouchable. I mean,
so they're waiting for Sinner Alcaraz to have a bad day, right?
Exactly.
So that's all. So you have to bring your best and hope that they don't. So that's a tough problem.
It is a very tough proposition.
Thank you guys so much for watching us at Matchpoint Canada. If you like our work, follow along, hit the subscribe button below.